Hi there, it's Rachel Riva from Life on Her Terms Media. Have you seen the Netflix documentary Pepsi Where's My Jet? If you haven't, I would implore you to go and look at this, especially if you're in business, especially if you're interested in any type of marketing. It is a very fascinating behind the scenes of a big corporation and in an advertisement that kind of went wrong and what happened there. And it takes us on a journey really of just people and also just a company and the decisions that we make and what happens when those decisions result into something. So I could go into so many details, but let me just say this. It's an amazing documentary. It's inspiring, but it's really fascinating about a commercial that Pepsi made in the 90s about saying if you got a number of Pepsi tokens that you would be delivered a jet. And a very young guy called them out on it. No one else did and say, hey, I've got like millions of tokens here. Where's my jet? Pepsi, where's my jet? So so becomes the story. So it's really interesting. I don't want to say what happens, but I do want to say there's three really important lessons that I took from it that any person in business would take from this, would be smart to take from this documentary. Okay, number one, creative without practical is a serious risk. The whole reason this documentary was created is because there was an ad that was really clever, got a lot of traction, which was really just about a young guy who basically flies a jet to high school and is like the coolest kid ever. And the whole idea is buy lots of Pepsi, you can maybe get a jet. It was a really cool idea. It obviously got a lot of traction, a lot of audience, a lot of buzz. It actually did increase their revenue in terms of how many people were buying their product. However, it was not clearly lined up with the practicality of A, it didn't have a disclaimer, the advertisement on it, which showed it was a joke. And B, it clearly was not run past legal because they would have avoided this if it was. Now, this is the cool thing. I love creativity. You need that creative spirit, that buzz, but you also need practicality. And so, especially in business, sometimes some of us are so strategy minded that we forget the creative. Sometimes the creatives are so creative minded, they're like, oh, we'll figure that out later. You need both. And if you're one of those that has a beautiful gift that you're giving to the world, but you don't have the practicality behind it, you need to have a contract in place. You need to have a program. You need to have an offering. You need to have your disclaimers in place because that is a huge risk to your business if you do not. And this documentary is nothing but a glowing example of that. All right, so number two, media is a superpower and it is available to everyone. This 19-year-old literally was firstly sued by Pepsi, but then went to court with Pepsi, and all that this person had available was media, and he used it. Media is still a massive superpower. It can get your message out into the world. It can change people's opinions. It can make you, a guy like this, no one knew his name. Then all of a sudden he was this overnight star taking on Pepsi, world domination, David versus Goliath. You cannot underestimate the power of the media, especially now. Back in the 90s, there was only a few top media outlets. Now you can even niche down into whatever your specialty is. It's really quite an incredible time for you to get your message out into the world. So if you're struggling to get any type of traction in your business and you haven't engaged with the media, you're missing out because even this guy, this whole program, the documentary wouldn't have existed because people wouldn't have known this guy existed and what the story was about. So it's when he started engaging with the media is when everyone started to take notice. It's when Pepsi started to take notice. So media is a superpower and it is available to everyone. All right. Number three, last but not least, I don't want to give too much away, but I will say this, the win may look different from what you think it will. The truth is, I love the story about the good guys winning. Everyone does. But this one looks a little bit different. But I have to say, when I was looking at it and thinking about it, they ended up literally changing law books because of the work that he did, because this guy was willing to stand out. He was willing to call Pepsi and say, hey, this is the ad. This is what you said. This is what you owe me. You just got to be honest about this. And I find that really inspiring because, especially in business, sometimes we can say, oh, we ran this launch or this program didn't get the win that I wanted to or the number that I wanted to. But you know what? Sometimes the win is the impact. And there's not always a dollar sign attached to that. Or it may look different from the goal that we had for the year. But I'm telling you, the good guys win. So if you're in business, it is a long game. Make good decisions, be of integrity, be honest, and do it the right way. And that there's a really there's this really pivotal decision that this guy makes in the documentary, which changes everything. and he's really making a decision about the type of person he wants to be. And every person, especially in business, has to make those decisions. Am I going to go after the quick riches? Am I just going to go after what I think will make me money and not exactly what I feel called to do? Am I going to, quit this programming because it doesn't have the numbers that I want it to and it's just not making me feel good at the moment? You have to make a decision about the type of person you're showing up as. And this documentary really shows that so clearly. So if you haven't seen the documentary, it will inspire you, firstly. So we all could use some inspiration, but also there's some really key messages there for people in business. If you're interested in marketing, it's a fascinating watch. But more than anything, if you're a woman in business and you're looking to take your business to the next level, but you don't want to invest in a publicist or an agency or another marketing guru, you should check out our Publicize Yourself course. We are just launching this. It's really quite extraordinary. It's for the woman in business. It's for the woman who is ready to get visible in a whole new way and join a community of like-minded women along the way. It is the most accessible I have ever made any of my services. So it's literally, and it's a monthly subscription. You can cancel at any time. So if you are looking to start landing media coverage and become a thought leader and start being known for what you've been created to do, well, now's your time, and Publicize Yourself will help you just do that. So check out the program below. We hope to see you in there. But until then, check out Pepsi and make sure you get those disclaimers on your website or whatever it is you're promoting. So until then, much love and thanks for watching.